You ever see a room stop breathing? The air freezes, the chatter dies, and every pair of eyes forgets what the hell they were doing, because you just walked in, not loud, not desperate, not begging to be noticed, just existing like a sin nobody wants to confess, but everybody wants to touch. You didn't walk in like a person tonight. You walked in like a problem, the kind that ruins plans, wrecks peace, and rewrites reality. You're not a face anymore. You're a moment, the kind that people don't recover from, the kind that haunts their dopamine-starved little brains for weeks. They wanted to be the show, but now they're the audience, and you're the stage, the fire, and the fucking sermon. See, here's the thing they'll never admit out loud. They like the chaos you cause. They need it. Because when you walk in, you remind them how dull their lives really are. They spend their days blending in, pretending comfort is confidence. Then you appear, and suddenly their souls start screaming, "Why can't I feel like that? Why can't I be that?" You've become their mirror and their nightmare all at once. They want to be you, but they can't survive being you. You don't crave attention. You command gravity. You don't chase validation. You trigger it. You're the storm the sky pretends it didn't see coming. And baby, when you move, even silence starts to flinch. They call it arrogance, but it's not arrogance. It's awakening. It's the price of knowing your worth in a world addicted to self-doubt. They see your glow and mistake it for madness. They see your calm and mistake it for calculation. And maybe they're right. Maybe you are a little dangerous. Because the most terrifying weapon on earth isn't rage. It's composure. You learn to master your darkness, to dress your pain in silk, to smile while bleeding, to stand in the fire and still look fucking immaculate. And now the world can't decide whether to crown you or crucify you. They whisper your name like a rumor and a prayer. They call you too much, too cold, too intense. But here's the secret. Too much is just what small minds call uncontainable. They tried to bury you in shame, but all they did was teach you how to bloom in hell. Now you're untouchable, unfazed, unapologetically you. You're the contradiction they can't decode. Saint and sinner, poison and antidote. A masterpiece painted in bruises and brilliance. And every time you walk into a room, the universe holds its breath. Because even it doesn't know whether to worship you or warn them. Oh, they felt you before they even saw you. That chill, that pulse shift, that static in the air like the room itself flinched. That's you. Your presence doesn't enter. It invades. You don't walk in. You arrive. And every insecure soul within a mile radius suddenly forgets how to breathe. You are what happens when pain evolves, when heartbreak doesn't heal. It mutates. You're not soft anymore. You're sharpened. Every betrayal became a blade, and every scar an armor plate welded with precision. You didn't survive what they did to you. You weaponized it. They call you intimidating because they can't label you anymore. Too kind to be evil. Too dangerous to be kind. You've become the paradox the world isn't ready to face. The living proof that destruction can look divine. You're not confidence, you're consequence. You're the quiet after the chaos. The eye of the storm that looks too calm to be trusted. Because behind that calm, there's calculation, control, and a kind of peace that doesn't come from being loved, but from no longer needing to be. They hate it, you know. That kind of stillness, that unshakable composure that says, I don't need your validation, I am the standard. They gossip, they mock, they whisper, but they never look away. Because deep down, they worship what they fear. And you, my dear, have become something fear bows to. You're not part of their story anymore. You're the plot twist that ruined their script. You're the line they can't stop quoting, the ghost that keeps rewriting their memories. They wanted to break you? Cute. They didn't realize they were dealing with something divine in demolition. God didn't build you for approval. He built you for impact. He made you the blueprint for beautiful rebellion, where grace wears a grin and vengeance hums like poetry. Look at you now. Your silence screams louder than their noise. Your stillness shakes their foundations. You say nothing, and they crumble. You exist, and they lose composure. That's power, the kind that doesn't need fireworks, because your aura already burns the sky. You became the monster they made up stories about just to cope with their guilt. But here's the secret. You're not the monster. You're the mirror. You reflect every insecurity they tried to bury, every lie they told themselves to sleep at night, every sin they disguised as normal. And now, standing in your presence, they see what real transformation looks like, and it terrifies them. You're not angry anymore. You're awake. And that's far more dangerous, because anger burns out. But awareness, that's eternal. You see through people now, through motives, through masks, through manipulation. You've become fluent in silence. And fluent silence is the language of the untouchable. So let them talk. Let them choke on their envy. Let them spin their stories. They don't realize they're just promoting your legend. Because everything they whisper now isn't destruction. It's advertisement. You've ascended beyond their reach. They can't touch what no longer exists on their frequency. You're a ghost with a heartbeat, a sin dressed as salvation, a storm disguised as elegance. They'll remember you forever, not because you fit in, not because you were nice, but because the day you walked in, their whole illusion cracked. And for one haunting moment, they saw what truth actually looks like. You walked in like a sin and left like a sermon, and now they'll spend the rest of their lives trying to repent, forever underestimating you. He leans forward, the smirk fades, the air thickens, and suddenly, it's just you and him. No laughter, no chaos, just that piercing silence again. The kind that hurts because it's too honest. His voice drops low, gravel mixed with venom. You know what's funny? He whispers. They thought they could contain you, control you, keep you small, predictable, polite. They wanted you to apologize for existing too loudly. He chuckles, a sound that's half amusement, half prophecy. But here's the part that really fucks with them. You stopped needing their permission to breathe. He straightens slowly, eyes glowing with that unholy mix of pride and danger. You didn't just survive their storm, you became it. They called you unhinged, dramatic, broken, because labeling you made them feel safe. But deep down, they knew. If someone like you ever learned to use the chaos instead of run from it. He pauses, tilting his head with that eerie grin. You'd rewrite the whole damn world. He circles you with his words now, voice like smoke, curling into every corner of your conscience. You see, evolution doesn't look holy. It looks like rage, learning how to meditate. It looks like forgiveness, wearing brass knuckles. It looks like you walking through the fire and realizing you don't burn anymore. His tone sharpens, slicing through the tension like glass. They threw you to the wolves, and you didn't just come back leading the pack. You came back owning the forest. You turned pain into prophecy. You turned humiliation into hunger. You turned every scar into a damn crown. He smirks again, slower this time, darker, deadlier. Now look at them, shaking, pretending you changed too much. when all you did was wake up. They're not afraid of who you've become. They're afraid of who they could have been if they'd had your fire. The silence returns. You can hear your own heartbeat. Steady, heavy, dangerous. And Joker's voice drops into that final whisper. Intimate, almost reverent. They tried to bury you in the dirt. But you didn't rot. You rooted. And now you've grown into something unkillable. So don't you dare dim that fire to make them comfortable. He leans in closer, eyes locked on yours. The last words almost like a secret meant only for you. Because monsters like us, we don't break. We break patterns. And every time they call you crazy, every time they call you too much, that's the sound of their world realizing you're finally free. He grins, wide, slow, haunting. And with one final flicker of that maniacal calm, he whispers, "So go on. Walk back into the chaos, head high, eyes steady, and let them feel it. The presence they can't silence, the legend they tried to erase, the sin they should have never provoked." The room fades to black. Only your heartbeat remains. And somewhere in that darkness, a voice laughs, softly, like thunder smiling. You walked in like a sin, and now, darling, you rule the damn inferno.